Happening now, today is Veterans Day. We tell you about one local effort to preserve aging vets' stories. Plus, the latest on two new COVID-19 related deaths reported here locally.
And the clouds are around for the early afternoon, but the rain has ended. But we're going to get into some sunshine later in the day. I'll tell you about it in full detail next. The News at Noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Two additional deaths related to COVID-19 were reported in Cattaraugus County yesterday. The county health department says an 82-year-old man and a 95-year-old woman, both living in the southeast part of the county, developed respiratory failure and were unable to overcome their illness. This is the 20th and 21st related death since the outbreak began. Officials also announced 9 new cases of the virus, which brings the county's total to 558 with 99 cases active. Of the new cases, 7 are women and 2 are men. Meanwhile, in Chautauqua County, 27 new cases of the virus were reported yesterday. Well, as the coronavirus pandemic keeps spreading across the country, there's another push to kill the Affordable Care Act. As John Lawrence reports, if the law from the Obama administration is struck down, millions of Americans could lose their health care coverage amid a pandemic.
The U.S. Supreme Court hearing arguments over the Affordable Care Act.
God save the United States and this honorable court.
Trump administration lawyers and GOP state attorneys general say a 2017 congressional amendment that eliminates the penalty for failing to get insurance invalidates the law altogether. Lawyers supporting the ACA say Obamacare can't survive without that mandate. Chief Justice John Roberts appears to agree with the latter.
I think it's hard for you to argue that Congress intended the entire act to fall if the mandate were struck down when the same Congress that lowered the penalty to zero did not even try to repeal the rest of the act.
Justice Brett Kavanaugh, a Trump appointee, says Obamacare could survive if the amendment were removed.
This is a very straightforward case for severability under our precedents, meaning that we would excise the mandate and leave the rest of the act in place.
Legal analysts say comments like these make it appear that Obamacare is not in critical condition.
It's a pretty good sign there are at least 5 votes, including Kavanaugh, the Chief Justice, the 3 progressives, to leave the rest of the ACA intact. That's going to be a big sigh of relief for millions of Americans.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. The Affordable Care Act was previously upheld by the Supreme Court twice in 2012 and 2015, but the 5 justices in the majority on those decisions are now 4 with the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, a West Coast native is facing a boatload of charges after allegedly burglarizing a property and stealing a car in Chautauqua County this week. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says that 35-year-old Nathan Joyce of Medford, Oregon, was arrested just after midnight on Tuesday near a business on Route 5 and 20 in the town of Hanover. Now, through investigation, deputies allege that Joyce burglarized the location and stole a vehicle. They say Joyce was arrested at nearby the scene and now faces more than a dozen criminal charges. Joyce was transported to the county jail for arraignment, where he remains in custody at this hour for further court proceedings. Now, the Erie County Sheriff's Office assisted deputies with their investigation, and deputies say the vehicle was returned to its rightful owner. Well, a new program documenting veteran stories from across the area is now live for public viewing. Heritage President and CEO Lisa Haglund tells WNY News Now her team has been working hard over the past few months to record interviews with veterans in an effort to preserve them. She says as vets pass away, many of their stories become lost. This initiative aims to keep them on record forever.
For us locally, there's no one from World War I we can interview. That is a lost moment in time. And you look at so many of the different moments in our history, and honestly, in all seriousness, Justin, it's irreplaceable. We can replace almost all things except for time. So it's so important that we capture the stories, the heart of the stories, and who these residents are and the impact.
Hagelin says her company has always carried the mindset of honoring veterans within their facilities, and the new effort only takes that mission to the next level. 3 years ago, Heritage started recording veteran testimonials in print. However, they wanted to make a bigger impact by digitizing the stories and posting them online. So far, 9 testimonial videos of veterans within their facilities have been recorded and posted to the web, with dozens more expected to follow.
It'll be available for anyone. There will be no timestamp expiration on it. So as we, over the next few years, keep adding stories, if your grandmother passes away and she was a nurse, right, in the Vietnam War, that story is going to be there for you.
Hagelin says she hopes to one day take this program beyond the walls of their many care facilities and document stories from all over the community. To view the interviews recorded so far, you can see them at heritage1886.org/veterans. We have a link to that and more at our website, WNYNewsNow.com right now. Well, we thank you for joining us here on this Veterans Day and reminding everyone, if you do know a vet, please thank them for the service. I am blessed here at WNY News Now to work with several great veterans who really are so hardworking, and I think when you think about it, a lot of times they don't want to be thanked for their service because it was just another day for them. But today is certainly a very important day to recognize that. Let's check in with the comments and say hello to Cindy. Good to see Raymond. Thank you so much for joining us here. Great to see Debbie, Stanford, Dave, Alana, Dan, Tom, Pam, and Tiffany as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Well, let's now get a check of our Veterans Day forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is joining us live, or I believe that Dakota may be here with us. It looks like we might be having a connection issue, but either way, let's A record number of absentee ballots counted in Chautauqua County changed the projected outcome of only one local race. The Chautauqua County Board of Elections reported yesterday more than 10,000 absentee and affidavit ballots were counted. Now, in the race for Fredonia Village trustee, Democrat Eva Dawn Bradshaw is now projected to defeat Republican John Scioto, who received 1,300 votes on election night and early voting, to Bradshaw's 1,200. However, when counting those absentee and affidavit ballots, Bradshaw wins by 85 votes. Now, despite winning the absentee vote total, the numbers weren't enough for Democratic candidate Christina Cardinelli to catch up to Assemblyman Andy Goodell's 34,000 votes on election night. Now, in the race for Chautauqua County Executive, both Democrat Richard Morris Rowe and Republican P.J. Wendell received a similar number of absentee and affidavit votes, with Wendell still projected to win the county. Now, despite District Attorney-elect Jason Schmidt is also still projected to win the race for DA. He received 3,876 absentee and affidavit votes to Swanson's 6,394 votes. Schmidt received nearly 30,000 votes on election night and early voting over Swanson's 17,000 votes during that period. Overall, he beat Swanson with more than 10,000 votes. Well, assuming the projected results remain the same, Congressman Tom Reed will serve during a third different U.S. presidency starting on January 20th. Now, during a weekly media call with reporters yesterday, our Matt Hummel asked Reed about his past working relationship with former Senator and Vice President Joe Biden, who is projected to be the president-elect. He says that he suspects the lines of communication will remain open, just as he says they were when Biden served as vice president.
based off of those relationships, that background, I take President-elect at his word in the sense of he wants to bring the country together. He wants to work with Congress, and I extend to him my open hand to work with him as a proud Republican and him a proud Democrat. Let's start solving problems for America, and I'll be the first one to offer that hand of good faith work that we can do together.
Now, Reid says that Biden made himself available after congressional members on both sides of the aisle had a difficult time making contact with President Obama. Well, straight ahead here, we hear how one local school's middle school play is adapting to the world of COVID-19. And later, more on how our community is honoring vets this Veterans Day. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Thanks for having me. Well, initially we found out that a lot of the playwrights had been taking their quarantine time and writing shows to be done totally virtually. So we did some research. We found one we liked from a playwright we've used before, and we've ran with it. So it's called Help Desk, and it's all done via Zoom. Practices had been interesting. Some students were here at school, some students were home. Even a fully virtual student chose to participate in our show. And it's been interesting with all the technology and all the changes. As much as we try to keep it the quote unquote traditional show, a lot of things have changed. So we used our school management system, Schoology, to create a quote unquote course in which we even held auditions virtually with an assignment. They had to record themselves doing a few different scenes, which allowed them to pick their best shot, just as we will be doing this week, editing the recording of the previous scenes, because with technology and all the craziness, we didn't want somebody losing their connection or their audio during the live performance. So the show is recorded, but we will be live streaming it both on 2:30 and on 7:30 performances this Saturday, as well as for the first time ever having it on the football field, being shown on the big screen as well. So if people choose to come in person, we will be socially distanced using both the football field, bring your chairs and or blankets, or the bleachers. So we are hopefully ready to go, and having limited number of tickets for in-person just because of the numbers that we have to maintain to keep everybody safe. So for streaming tickets, we are asking people to email falconproductions@falconerschools.org. And then we will reach out to them and figure out drop off of payment, and a link will be sent to them for either performance they choose. For in-person, come to the all-purpose field, and if there are tickets to be had, you can have them. We are only printing about 100 tickets because that's all we can have in our facility and maintain distancing. Correct, on the big scoreboard. Yeah. That's actually Saturday. Because of potential playoffs, we were not able to use Friday night. So we are doing Saturday at 2:30 and Saturday at 7:30. We initially had a rain date for Sunday. However, Sunday does not look good according to the weather I've seen. So we are sticking to the original Saturday date. Right. Many of them have mentioned how they're glad that they can kind of do something quote unquote normal still. Even though we're doing it non-traditionally, we're still doing it. And it's still a club and activity that's not exactly educational through school. They learn by doing it. So it's been really fun and lots of challenges. At one scene we recorded, we had 11 devices going, streaming, recording. It was pretty crazy, but we made it work, and I'm excited to see the final product. Thank you.
You know what? We're going to work on getting Justin's audio fixed, because, Justin, we need to get you something better than that Mr. Microphone. I mean, that was a great thing back in the late 70s, but we need to get you something better than that. All right, let's go into weather here. So yesterday was another record breaker here. 74 was the high yesterday. We beat the old record of 72 that was set back in 1999. And so, boy, I hope you enjoyed that, because yesterday was the last day of that. So the weather headlines were falling head over heels. Temperatures are going the opposite direction. We're falling through the day today. Our high temperature was actually in the 60s today. We're falling through the 50s through the afternoon. Cooler and drier through the rest of the week. The weekend is going to be a toss-up here depending on your day. Saturday is going to be your best day. And could we see some rain and snow mix by early next week? Yeah, that's a possibility. 62 as a noon hour right now with a southwest wind of 10, and the dew point at 60. We've seen some fog at times in some of the valley locations with the air temperature and the dew point close together. That means you're going to have some fog, very moist air. The radar shows you the rain that we had this morning is pretty much all moved out to the east. So basically the western areas are dry right now, and it's going to remain that way through basically the rest of the day. The rain is over with for the westernmost areas. Satellite and radar composite shows you that big strip of rain extending basically from New England all the way down into Alabama. That's the cold front that has moved through. So that cold front is big and large, so you can see how far it actually extends here. So the computer modeling shows you the rain tapers off, hightails out to the east. The remainder of the day will be dry. I think we may actually see a few peaks of sunshine later in the day towards sunset time tonight, which, by the way, comes up at 6:59, by the way, at 5:59, I'm sorry. So 5:59 tonight will be sunset time, and then tomorrow will be absolutely fantastic. Hurricane Eta down here off the coast of Florida. It's going to make a second landfall in Florida. It was upgraded to a hurricane this morning, 75-mile-per-hour winds. And there's actually a tornado watch out for portions south of Tampa, including Tampa, Sarasota, and Cape Coral. And the projected track, this is going to make a second landfall near the Big Bend area of Florida, likely either tonight or early tomorrow. And then this thing swings out into the Atlantic, and we'll see where it goes from there. But again, no impact to us or any parts of the Northeast. Zone forecast, the inland areas today. Yeah, this is where we're going to end the day, likely lower to mid 50s. The rain will end, but temperatures, you're going the wrong direction. Yeah, with that cold front. Next 7 days of your life coming up right now, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 48 tomorrow, 50 on Friday. Both Thursday and Friday should be mainly sunny, lots of sunshine there. Saturday, cool, 45, but the sun will be out. Sunday, a few scattered showers, a pair of fives on Sunday as well. A better chance of rain on Monday with another storm system digging in with a trough. And Tuesday, we bring those temperatures down into the lower 30s with a few rain and snow showers. Justin.
Members of the American Legion and Jamestown Marching Band honored veterans this morning with a 21-gun salute and taps in downtown Jamestown in honor of Veterans Day. The observance is on the anniversary of the end of World War I, which happened at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. It was originally called Armistice Day, but was broadened to honor all veterans in 1954. Our Lee Kane, a veteran himself, spoke to Claude Burrows, a Vietnam veteran who worked on a supplies and service battalion.
Logistics and supplies is one of the
most
important.
Log. Yeah.
It's one of the most important to actually keeping going. So no, I thank you very much. I thank you very much, because without supply, we're high and dry.
Well, we tried our best. There wasn't no red ball exactly, but we did a lot of even going out. Sometimes in the morning we picked up Vietnamese and the ambulance and stuff and that, because we used them for work around our areas, where we had our hooches and stuff and that around the compound and that.
Yes, sir.
In the mess hall and things like that, and carpenters and all those different things. We used for labor,
Yes,
we'd
sir.
go out like 4 o'clock in the morning and pick them up and bring them back, and just a driver, a shotgun, and that was about it. And pick them up in the back of a deuce and a half, sometimes 5 ton, and bring them back in so they could set things up and start to working in. So you'd be out there pretty much usually just that one truck. So a lot of things could happen.
Yes,
We're
sir.
inside the perimeter, but it wouldn't take much to run into trouble. Let me put it that way.
Yes, sir. Well, the number one goal is to disrupt the supply lines, to cut people off. Without supplies, soldiers and Marines and sailors and airmen, they're on their own.
Yeah, but that's nobody wants to leave them high and dry. They have a tough enough job just keeping alive. That's tough enough.
I was the Army. What branch did you serve?
Army too.
Army?
Yeah, U.S. Army. I was actually 66, 67. I was over in Nam. Drafted right on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 66. They drafted me. Valentine's Day 68. I ETS.
Yes, sir.
2 years, and done it. Well, thank God. Not no 12 tours in Iraq. I don't know how that. Them poor guys I feel sorry for.
Yes,
some of them got like 6, 7, 8 tours, whatever a tour is over there. I'm still not familiar with. But we had that 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Thank God.
Yes, sir. Well, once again, Mr. Burrows, we thank you for your service and we thank you for your time.
There are an estimated 19.5 million veterans in the United States. We thank both Mr. Kane and Mr. Burrows for speaking with us today and for their service. And my friend A.D. Simcoe, I want to give a shout out to and thank you, sir. Absolutely amazing, some of the stories that you hear that people have gone through. And we are just so appreciative for their sacrifices, from the smallest jobs to the biggest jobs, all just as important in the eyes of the American public. So thank you. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Thank a veteran today. See you tomorrow.